Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another SWTOR video. Today I have for you guys another SWTOR discussion video. Today's SWTOR discussion video, we're just going to be talking about the Iokath power shards. Now, the power shards are a type of currency that you can find on Iokath with the daily missions. I just kind of want to go over, my opinion and views on them. Since, even though they're just a currency, there is different ways to get them. And just, I just want to kind of talk about the rate and all that different stuff just relating to it. So I hope you guys enjoy this SWTOR discussion video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some gaming mints, then check the link in the description down below. Catalytic gaming mints. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I'll see you guys in this discussion. Alrighty guys, so let's get into this right now. So as guys know, in the SWTOR there is the daily area called Iokath. Now this is an area where you can complete certain daily missions, and just by completing these missions you can get these types of currency that can allow you to access stuff that's found throughout the area. Now this currency is of course the power shards. Now the more of these you get, the more you can actually do. A good example of this is once you get a certain amount of shards, you can access a walker and to just play around in on the actual planet in PvP and all that different stuff. Also, if you do have enough of the shards and you also have a tight control thing, or with the other bosses once they release, then you'll be able to actually be able to play as those bosses in just the open world and just attack people and all that cool stuff. So a lot of people are like, oh hey, this is pretty cool. It's just a way to just kind of get into a tank and do all that fun stuff. Well, that is true, but at the same time, I say at its current state, I feel like it's a bit flawed. Now, currently with the walker mounts and all that different stuff that you can actually access, you have to have a ton of these power shards. And the only way to actually obtain these is you have to kill mobs and complete dailies. Now, occasionally mobs will release 1, 2, or 3 of them, but paying for these mounts and stuff and these walkers takes quite a bit of shards. So my main issue is even though you can gain quite a few of them, I feel like at the current state it is kind of a grind just to go ahead and access these walkers. I know that they were just trying to hype up open world PvP here, but I think the issue with open world PvP is the fact is the area is so condensed. And also the fact that it does take forever to actually get a walker. And once again, it's not like you keep it forever. Once you access it once, whether you leave the area or just something else, then you just lose it completely. So that's one issue I have. I'm not saying you should, keep the walker mount forever just to mess around with in PvP. But I feel like they should make the cost of it a bit more reduced. Kind of give more meaning to actually, trying to encourage PvP here and there. I feel like, just, I say, encouraging people to just basically attack mobs for no reason is a bit pointless, because, it seems like so far that's the best way to actually obtain these shards, because even if you complete the dailies, they don't give you almost any, so it's kind of pointless to even care about the dailies if you're just trying to actually do PvP here. So that's just something right there. Another thing that I noticed is, once again, they do drop frequently, but they drop at really low amounts. Now, as you can tell, I'm just running around during this discussion, just taking down these droids, and a lot of people would be like, oh, hey, it's no big deal, you could only do the PvP once you have the shards, or you can just access the other, characters and stuff. But still, at the same time, I think it is kind of pointless to just have it like this, because, once again, you just gotta grind out all this different stuff just for some quick PvP. Now, based on the reputation items, I can understand, just having the prices set at certain limits, so when you're just trying to get reputation items, it's not just working the same way. But they should try to find, a bet, or, a bigger, balance between the two. So, you aren't getting tons of shards just by killing mobs, but at the same time, they should make it so there's actual, a reason to just go to Iokath. Because at this point, just with the way you get the shards now, and just the way you get the currency, I feel like you're not going to really see much PvP here at all, even though they want to encourage it again, is because there's just really no point. You could either just go into a fight just on your character like this, or you can just, grind here for hours just killing all these mobs, just to finally be able to access a walker for one single time. I don't know, it seems like the overall trade-off is kind of pointless, so that's just my personal view on it right there. is that, you do get these power shards pretty rapidly, but they should try to up it a little so you don't have to just sit here and grind all day just to be able to play in a walker mount for like a single time. So that's just my overall, I guess, kind of like views and complaints with the currency. They should try to change, the way it's obtained, try to increase it a little just based on the prices, or maybe reduce the prices that can be found for the stuff. Who honestly knows? I just feel like something needs to be really done with this, because they're trying to encourage open world PvP, but I feel like it's not working out too well in their favor. So now that we've just kind of gone over this whole entire like PvP aspect, because I know I've just been constantly going over that, let's talk about another issue I actually kind of have with what they're doing. Now, with the dailies, they want you to, at certain points, depending on the daily you actually obtain, is with the dailies found within and on Iokath, they kind of encourage you to spend these shards just to complete a daily. Now, I wouldn't have any issue with this if they give you like the amount you spent on the shards back after completing the mission. But with it, it seems like they actually don't. They don't even give you even close to the amount that you spent the shards on to access certain content. So it defeats the whole purpose of doing the daily, because why would I just do a daily that gives me like only 8k credits when, I can just do something else and not spend all my shards that I'm saving up for maybe a different vehicle. Maybe I want to play as Tithe later on. Would I want to really spend a bunch of shards just playing as a walker, just spend, all that amount that I just worked up getting, when I could just, simply just skip the daily and do something else? They need to try once again. I feel like when they actually made this, they were like, oh, hey, we're just going to have dailies here. People aren't going to have any big issue with it, which, I can understand. To be fair, with the dailies, I don't have any issue with it. But, once again, I feel like when they're trying to introduce a new daily area, they should try to, kind of like have a balance between the two. Because I feel like currently there isn't really a balance at all. It seems more or less that, they're like, we're going to have a daily area. We're just going to make all these enemies just drop shards everywhere. And then they're going to be like, oh, hey, we don't really care about the pricing for the walkers and whatnot. Because that's one of the big things. Once again, that was one of the big things that they were talking about. Just, how, oh, you're going to be able to use, these walkers. You're going to be able to go into open world PvP just fighting other walkers, all this crazy stuff. But when you look at it, none of that has really actually happened. Because people really don't want to just grind just to be in a walker mount for like 5 minutes of open world PvP. Or they don't really want to arrange it, because with the way Iokath is kind of made, or rather the area, it's just like small corridors every now and then, as you can probably see just by me kind of like going around the map. That's another thing that I seem to notice, is just, it's kind of not super open, but still at the same time, if you're trying to get the currency, then it is pretty useful. I don't know, some of this is like in general not relating to the currency, but at the same time the currency is mainly used for all the stuff that can be found within the planet, so you kind of have to cover all that different stuff. Now, one thing that I do have to admit that is pretty cool that they actually decided to do with the currency is they had it so in actual PvP, say for example you just meet someone just in the battlefield and you just want to go ahead and fight them. If you kill them, they actually drop the currency for you. Which I think that's pretty cool, that you take down an enemy player, just a regular player, an actual in-game player, not a NPC like these bots over here. You take them out and you manage to kill them, and they actually drop the currency for you. I think that's a pretty cool, like I'd say, something that they decided to add with the game. I heard that it does lag sometimes, based on what some people said, is that if you have a bunch of people in the area and you just decide to do it, then it can lag every now and then. Which that does kind of suck, but I feel like once they kind of fix some of the issues with it, it will be better. I know that they did, of course, test this on the PTS, but still I'm not sure how much they actually tested the different aspects of it. So let's actually go ahead and just go over to one of the stuff right here. Some of the stuff right here. As you can tell, you can play as a mouse droid. I did activate this by accident before. But if we just go to something as simple as this, this is just a mouse droid, not really anything special at all. And then we say control, you give them 75. That's not too bad, obviously 75, but no big deal. But then again, as a mouse droid, what can you really do, guys? And over here we do have the walker to, just kind of like run around in a walker and just take it down to some people. So, obviously this is with the Republic side. Of course, you can just go to the Imperial side. So we're just going to click it right here. So you have to pay 600, power shards for it. Now, some people would say, oh, hey, that's not big of a deal. You only have like 263. But still, at the same time, I know that a lot of people really don't want to just sit around just killing mobs constantly just to be able to activate a walker. I feel like they should have, some system where you can just go in as every 24 hours you can activate the walker, and then if you just want to get it extra times, then you can pay the extra power shards, just so it not only clears up the daily, but it also allows you to use the shards for some extra stuff, instead of just having to just play forever and just take down people to just activate it one singular time. I don't know, that's just my opinion with the whole entire thing. I know that some people are more irritated than I am. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I just feel like, if they want to kind of bring more people back over here, then that should be something they should consider. I mean, as you can tell, we just click this right here. I don't really care too much about it, but as you can tell, I mean, we just spent all those currency things right here, and you just actually only activate this little turret right here. Which, I mean, it is pretty cool that you're able to do this, but still at the same time, if they want to encourage the whole entire idea of just, just PvP and whatnot, they need to just go ahead and just do. I say they just need to go ahead and just kind of add more stuff to make it, I would say, a bit more I don't know, implement it better so more people are actually willing to go over here. Because overall, I don't think people are going to want to do PvP if they have to do all this different stuff just to go ahead and actually, enjoy it. Anyways, guys, I think that is it for this Star Wars Republic discussion video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.